Richard Bacon, a retired architect, and since retirement 4 or 5 years ago, I've been expanding one of my longtime desires, doing watercolors. As an architect, we did a lot of renderings, portraits of proposed designs, which we'd use as a tool to sell a design to prospective clients and gain their approval for that particular design. So this is a historic home in St. Genevieve. The one down below, Rogers Produce, is a 1950s gas station type building, going out of business and became a fruit stand. It's Rogers Produce. It's in Webster Groves, Missouri. The next room we have, in the past year I've been getting more into portraits. I still do some exterior scenes, landscapes, and building portraits, but I've gotten into portraits of people and pets. And I guess after I retired from architecture, I did take one watercolor course. It's a community education, and it's an excellent course. But beyond that, I'm being tutored by 2 of our sons. We have 3 sons and a daughter. 2 of our sons are high school art teachers, and they both coach football also. One's retired from coaching. He coached here in St. Genevieve for many years. They had many successful teams, and our sons all played football here. But the youngest son is a head football coach up at Fort Zumwalt North in St. Charles County. But anyhow, they've been teaching Dad how to do watercolors and portraits. And it's like a online course. I can scan or photograph something I'm working on, send it to John or Joe, and they get a critique back to me, and they're very kind to me. But, it's been a tremendous help, and they've really helped me get far enough that I can thoroughly enjoy doing it.
A little cup of phosphate.
I've got one down here. This is from Naples, Florida. Carol and I both play tennis, and we go down there each spring for a few weeks and enjoy tennis with many couples from the St. Louis area. But I'm also able to do some painting down there. I enjoyed those, but each step has been
she was trying to tell the druggist
just like totally new, getting into different subject matters, and I've enjoyed them all. This is a building, a historic building in St. Genevieve. Mammy Shaw House is in front. This is the old fur traders building in the back, and that's the Catholic Church steeple in the background. There's more florals here. This is the Compton Heights Water Tower in St. Louis off of Grand Boulevard. That was an interesting subject. This one down below is the Bolduc Kitchen. The Bolduc House is one of the more famous historical homes in St. Genevieve. And this is kind of nestled in their back garden, and you don't see much of it, but it was an interesting subject. This was down up in Michigan, northern Michigan, Point Betsy Lighthouse. That was an interesting subject.
Well, I don't think anybody.
Above that is in Webster Groves. It's an old orchard. It's the Apple Pavilion downtown. And I had entered that in a plein air competition a couple of years ago, and was fortunate that I won a prize there. So. And that was very encouraging. This is Wine Garden Winery. It's also in the St. Genevieve area. It's just outside of Wine Garden. Wine Garden has historical value as during World War II it was an Italian prisoner of war camp. And I guess until recently they still had remains of the barracks and some of the living facilities that they had there. That's a real interesting story. This is a different a view of Rogers Produce in Webster Groves, which was fun to do. And with watercolor, I'm never totally certain exactly what it's going to do, but it's usually pretty interesting, and some of these effects just happen, and sometimes they're to your benefit. This below is one of our granddaughters. When I started doing portraits, I started with our granddaughters, knowing that they wouldn't be very critical of them, that they would think did of them would be okay. And the old stone pavilion. Montauk is basically a trout fishing park, one of several in Missouri, and that was probably one of the more historic structures there. These I've done each year. The veterans, military veterans have a national competition, and I've entered these in the past 2 years for the St. Louis area as a veteran, and was fortunate they both, each year they won a first prize in the watercolor category for that year. They went on to the national competition, but did not make it any further than that. The one to the left, the POWMIA, I did that. I volunteer 1 day a week at Jefferson Barracks, just helping out at the outpatient physical hab, which is a gymnasium. And I really just take blood pressures and help the guys on machines to work out. And this was a guy, a young man, a 30-year-old man who had joined the Army on the evening of September 11th after the Twin Towers. And he had some really horrible experiences over there fighting for our country. There's a book written about his group, so I had asked him if there's anything I could do for him. He asked if I could paint a picture, and that's what I did. So, and he was very pleased. This is a print. I gave him the original, but he's a real hero to the country. These are floral that I was doing early in my retirement, and again enjoyed those. And some of these are prints where the original has been sold, but several of them are originals. The one to the lower left is downtown St. Louis, the train station with the arch in the background, and that was an actual view. If you get at the right angle on the street out in front, that's what you do see. So that's in proportion, but I'd never noticed that before. These others are additional florals, some from Florida, some from our area here, some from our backyard, and this one was from Colorado, the scene out there. The Holy Family, this is in front of Queen of All Saints Church up in South County, St. Louis. That's our parish, and that's the scene that you see from one angle outside of the entrance to the church. Here, in getting into portraits, I was trying to depict Clint Eastwood there. Another of our granddaughters here, and another St. Louis scene here with the old courthouse and the arch in the background. And again with this guy, kind of have an idea what the watercolor is going to do on the wet paper, but I'm never totally certain. But I was pleased with what it did do, the effect. It was just something that happens, and you can control part of it. And I'm sure as I get more experience, hopefully I'll be able to control more of it. But so far, it's worked to my benefit. So, and this was another of our granddaughters when Carol and I were fortunate enough to go to New York last December with our daughter and two granddaughters, and that was a photo that we had taken in Manhattan, and then we got back. I did a painting from it. That's how I do portraits, from a photo, and do the painting there. I'd never be able to do a watercolor with someone just sitting for the portrait because it takes so long for the watercolor to dry and mature as it should. So I have one more portrait in there next to my wife. That's my wife, Carol. But that's another of our granddaughters.
Where would they come from? They're not yours. They're not mom's. They're
And part of the Artwalk there, they sell chances, and I guess there's a drawing later this evening, 9:30, I believe, and whoever wins the drawing then gets to select a designated picture from one of the galleries. This is not the picture. What I'm offering here, that's just a sample offering that if they win it, I would do a portrait from the photograph that they provide to me. So hopefully someone will win that and will enjoy doing it. So, but I displayed 3 years ago in the Artwalk here, and that was the first time I displayed anywhere. But it's a wonderful situation here in St. Genevieve. There's a lot of history and a lot of art for the past 100 or so years is a real history in St. Genevieve. So we enjoyed living here. We lived here from 72 to 92. We left St. Louis when I left a large company to open my own office. And we were looking for a small town atmosphere. Hopefully that it would be good to raise our kids. It was wonderful. We were looking for a town with a good school system, a good public school system, but also a Catholic school system. Our kids did attend Valley Catholic here. We've been real pleased with that. But the entire area is good, solid people. A lot of history building-wise, but a lot of history just people here. It's a wonderful place. Thank you.
Is right along the way 30 pounds. Every year he gets to do one of those. I know. I bet he's glad to get rid of those, and then all of a sudden another one's gone. Yeah. Then he has to have it to finish territory every fall. There's some more deer in that one over there. That where he went stand. Oh yeah, so those are great things. Yeah, they just, it's like they're out there. They're not part. They're part of the scenery, not the scenery. For this one, neither the scenery. That one is part of it. So where's your ship? Where's that anchored out there? It's anchored in Newport, Savannah Harbor. Savannah Harbor. So it's definitely. You kept saying you're not taking me there. I'm waiting. Yeah, you know what that is?
Mine was like came out of a kid's color.
Great blue heron. Yes. Hi, how are you?
How are you?
I'm the artist.
Okay.
I'm the Robert Payne.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some meat.
Why don't you sign my tunic? The other gal said this is my opportunity. Yeah, she's the one who got signed. Or that lady over the black. All right.
The CBS Sunday morning show, where they got different songs in between the episodes.
We have a stand for that right by the wine.
Oh, I just can't myself. Oh, well, I do.
One of them's plastic and so
I still have my pizza.
let my stamp over here.
I use good quality bronze stains, and part of that means you want to put it all together.
I've seen them.
Thank you so much.
That's a bit of money involved, but that's enough.
It's a pallet.
That's at 17, 16. All right.
They gave us some wine.
Yeah, I'll take a little bit.
Here, and we
Yeah, I
got
lost
sweet.
my opinion on that
didn't introduce you, I don't think. This is my husband.
Wait a minute, the old bridge.
Okay.
One of my cars just started over there.
He's taking a sabbatical.
Yeah.
Here you got a choice. You got a choice. You got a sugar or butterflies.
Oh, wow, wasn't neat.
There's some that are upside down.
Take that one? Or blanks? Nice.
Yeah, those are for phone numbers.
I was a Navy chaplain, and my first assignment was the Marine Corps. Marine Corps was in a town that had a ball peen that was a river, and I said, just call me Padre. I'm going to Padre. So that's how it went.
Yeah, me too. I have 5 podcasts.
My dad has got this thing here, that's the
That was in 2006.
I do the old style, just the one out. The old style was you go out and sit in that camera. You go out for the small, you go out for an hour, you think you come in. For 1 hour, you go out and shake out.
Yeah, I'm sure, yeah. The card where they had all the parts.
We went to night to think about what brand we sound good, we make something up.
So, all we have to do this one looks like
I used to, my grandma passed away a couple of years ago at about 98. And
well, now we're
one time a year, we come down and eat at the old hotel, and so it became her favorite spot. So I was like, you know, I heard I saw it. Is it just the name of it? From the Autumn Society? Okay.
He's the famous naturalist who created the birds of America.
Got it, okay.
Naming our society after him. He was from 1811 to 1998. He was here for about, I know where he lived for a while, so he was a big deal about it,
The recap will be great over there. I'm excited to see it. I love, every time I went there, it has been a couple of years since I've been there. It looked a little like it had been worn out a little bit in the, like, the hallway going up to the rooms and stuff. And I thought that it kind of has its own little look and feel, and that's kind of what it is. And it's that, I'm really curious to see.
upstairs. The restaurant level, it's gonna be French. It's supposed to be, a little bit upscale from what was there. And, it's exciting, it's all local people doing it.
I love it. I love it. I'm so excited to be a part of it. Is that the I tried to go in there and they're booked. I guess. And the menu looked incredible. I'm way underdressed for it, but I looked at it. I just jumped from St. Louis and thought, I'm going to run down to St. Genevieve with my wife and kids, grab some art, and sneak out for a little bit. Yeah. It may be worth saying it'll be based on the music tomorrow. So, I love Creole.
Bought it, and they're open, right?
Always managed to spill that.
I don't know. Really nice. Sometimes you get run down. But Robert?
They call me Padre, and this one is some hollyhocks or butterflies from Mrs. McKintrey's garden in DeSoto.
Jackson does like camping.
And that's what she was saying, so she came and she said, here I am.
I call this one Down a Country Road, and this the south end of my farm and in Montgomery County, and I
was there one day and thought it was nice, and I did a painting.
But she's got to take this time off.
These two daisies are more or less an experiment I was doing, and they're no particular scenery. It's just combination of colors and putting the daisies together is a kind of a new style. The September in mid-Missouri, I remember how beautiful the trees were in mid-Missouri in late fall, early fall, and I began to work with it, and I remember that highway that had a curve in it, so I went out and made a fast sketch. This is a deer I found in my potato patch, so I made a picture of it. I have a little farm in Montgomery County, and that's the tree line between me and my neighbor, and the sumac and the goldenrod is painted on site pretty close to Olympic Village, and I thought it came out fairly well. And when I was going to college, I worked in Oregon, and the sheep herders would bring their sheep through in the spring going to the high country. And the lamb happens to be a local lamb that I use for a model. I went to college in Arizona, and this is some of the sketches I made in Arizona, the kind of the high country, the Window Rock area. So that is a painting of that. The bobwhite quail, the barn, the old wagon are old memories that I had when I was a kid growing up. The wagon, I own the wagon, but it's almost deteriorated now. The barn was my father's barn, but the neighbor had a brush fire and it burnt down, so it's no more. And I haven't seen a quail on the place in years. The song of the trees is I wanted to do a wood scene, but I wanted to be more than a wood scene, so I put 5 deer and a bird. The ship, I was in the Navy, and the ship is a scene out of Savannah Harbor. And the Rook is the old guard tower to the old Monaco resort that was south of DeSoto. Now it's an entrance in to Somerset. This blue heron, I painted it, and it is from one of those tiff ponds west of DeSoto near Richwood. Oh, when I was in the Navy also, we were in Hawaii for a little while, and this is a bridge over one of the gardens, and I thought it was neat, so I made a sketch of it and then I painted it.
Hi, I'm Kay Cook, and I'm the new owner of the Main Street Inn. And every month, as we participate in the Fourth Friday Art Walk, we're going to feature a variety of artists. They'll change. We'll bring in different artists each month. The ones that we're featuring this month is we've brought in Marvin Swain and 4 of his pieces of art. He has a long story behind it, but he is one that depends on his art for his livelihood. So we're hoping that folks will enjoy his expression, and maybe we'll be back. We'll see how that works.
name's Jennifer Schmidt, and I own Glitz and Glam here at 185 Market Street. I offer a wide variety of costume jewelry. Prices range from $2 up to $20, and we also sell purses. We just started carrying Mossy Oak. I also offer tutu sets, custom-made t-shirts that I have a lady make, and I also sell Pink Zebra, which is a new line of candles that just came out that are non-toxic and soft soy. We're open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 11 to 4, and sometimes on Sunday, and we are always open on the Artwalk from 5:30 to 7:30. So make sure you come down and see me. Bye.
Hi, thank you for watching Channel 798.
Thank you for watching Channel 7 and 98.
Hi, thank you very much for watching Channel 798.